Yeah, that's pretty good.
You see, I know how to, deflect hating, negativity. How's it going, peeps? We're back. We're backpacking in Argentina this time. Getting a little terrified by the movie Terrified. And we watched Veronica last week. But shit. Trevor, I know this is the
Yes.
first time watch for you.
First time
Gamer, I
watch for me.
believe this is the first time watch for you. So I'm gonna kick it
Yep.
off with you guys as far as before we even dive into ratings. What do you guys think about this movie? Whoever wants to go first, take it right ahead. Gamer?
I had fun with it. I loved it. I thought it was a great watch.
Same here. Just the idea they used, and I like how they showed the thing. The creep factor is like showing the thing looking over him in the bed and under the bed, folded up and shit. I was like this shit's pretty cool.
It had me from the beginning with the water going down the drain, and then like it cut from like her listening to it looking at the drain for a minute, and then all of a sudden the water cut on, and I was like, "Oh
Gives
shit!"
you those 2 or 3 second vibes of the remake of The Blob, where you see there's something underneath there. You're just like, "Oh shit," and then you're like, "Oh no," but this movie just goes.
Yeah.
There is no downtime.
Even the subtle conversations that they're having, where that is your breathable moments, are intense, and like you're always wondering what's going to happen next, or they catch some glimpse of like some beautiful nuance they added, like when with the little boy, when all of a sudden they look over and it's just the footprints.
Yep.
And like, or they're having this in-depth conversation and she's taking pictures and you see the footprints and the handprints on the wall, and it's like it's building that tension.
Or when
like,
Jono walks out. One thing is one that got me is when Jono walks out of the house after being called there because of the boy. You have to see all those things on the house that nobody's seeing them, and they're right there. And how they introduce her being able to see differently than him was freaking awesome. There's a lot of style and a lot of, it's hard to put this movie in a time period. It was made in 2017 by this director named Damien Rugna. He's done several other horror films. I think the one was Where It Lurks, and he's working on several other films. This was one of the few times I can say that I watched a film and it made me love the jump scare. It successfully made an 1.5-hour film based on jump scares, and it didn't get old. The tension between those was so tight, and it just kept going. And also the fact
I would argue one point about the jump scares is that because when we really think, sorry, my mic was over there. I got all excited about this movie. I would not say that it's all jump scares. I would say it just effectively uses the jump scares. Honestly, I'd say that the tension is where the true horror lies at all of this, because you don't even have to be you're almost feeling it more often when it's not in a room, when they're not in a room with anything of activity have been going on.
It utilizes the jump scare a lot, but
that's what I'm saying. It utilizes that, but I wouldn't say it relies on it.
The tension is almost like white noise through this film. So when a jump scare comes along, you're already you're waiting for that, but you're also feeling all the tension. If nothing else, just from the gradual emotional and physical decay of Commissioner Funes. So these jump scares, they are legitimate scares, in my opinion. So I don't want to lessen them by saying they're jump scares, but when they hit, it successfully, a good 5-6 times in this movie, maybe more, was able to deliver that type of reaction. Where most movies that would have that many, if 2 are successful, we're happy.
The only thing I would push back on the jump scares, I'd say they are effective. Every single one of them is effective in this movie. I would say it's actually the atmosphere, which is the most effective part of this movie. Because there are times you're sitting, like, let's take again the little boy with the dead body. And it could only because I know, like, Serty and I were watching that scene together. It is more effective with the tension building that they've done up to that point. When they're just sitting in the room with the body waiting for it to do something, it is scarier than even when the kid is standing outside and it turns the head. Because you almost we've already built, like, that's the beauty of these jump scares is they're fine. They're going to get you. Like when you're in the hospital later with I can't think of his name at the moment, but you're in the hospital later and then like the things start popping off, right? But like bringing it back to when you're in the homes, it's the subtleness of the waiting that, to me, I think makes this movie the more terrified of it than the jump scares or any of the other elements. They really, really build tension so thick in this movie.
And the music helped
Well,
it
it
too.
climaxes amazingly, and that yet again, I want to apologize for using the term jump scare, but
No, you were right to use it. I'm just saying it was effective. I'm just saying I was disagreeing.
They were so amazingly effective in what a scare like that should be. It should literally take you up to that point of where you're just like, this is insane, and that bam scare actually brings you down. And then you start the ride again. And that's how the jump scare should be used. And Damien Rogana did it well. I mean, this is like, I think his second full-length film.
Yeah, so you mentioned When Evil Lurks, which Trevor.
When Evil Lurks, and
you gotta watch that one.
Which is a great film.
Sequel of that's coming out.
Yeah,
this was another awesome film right here. If you guys have not seen it, I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. So good.
Well, I really got excited when I saw this was from Argentina, because I've always, and I didn't in this case, but I will be in the near future. Argentina has a very interesting history in horror. So there are a fair number of horror films that have come out of Argentina for decades. But they're not in the level we think of Mexico or Spain. But they're especially a Gothic horror background to the country. You're also dealing with a country that dealt with massive dictatorships, the disappearing of people. You also dealt with a country that deals with an element of guilt because it was one of the few, if not only, countries that opened its doors on conditions to Nazis after World War II. This is a country that is dealing with a lot of its past, and it's terrified by it. And watching this film, that was the subtext I got, was there's such an internal political and social structure and struggle in Argentina, it could blow up at any time. And, Argentina's come a long way from the past, but that's one thing that I did automatically make that connection. And once you add that subtext to what we've already talked about, it actually makes it, I think the experience was more terrifying for me then.
Nice. Yeah, like I said, this is I think it's my third or fourth time watching this movie. And every single time I watch it, I enjoy it just as much as the first, damn near. Because it's so well done. It's so well done with the storytelling. It's so well done with the scares. And like you were both saying, yes, with the scares that make you jump, but also just the atmosphere. The atmosphere was perfect for what they were doing with this movie. And another thing I like what they did with the little boy, me and Mick were watching this earlier, like he was saying, is the part where they're standing in the kitchen talking, right? And they look back over and that glass of milk is knocked over. I'm taking the fuck off. I don't give a fuck what's going. Yo, listen, I'm out. Because at first, I mean, you know what? You go in there, I don't believe it. Someone put the boy in here, this, that, and the third. But you look over and you see that shit. Bye, peace. Y'all are on your own.
Yeah, no cat could have went up there and knocked it over.
Nah, there was no cat there. There was no damn cat there. And on top of that, you didn't even hear it spill. You didn't hear it tip over and hit the glass. If it was a cat knocking it over, you would have heard that. That was one of those things that's like, oh shit. And it was one of those things. I like how they showed. I like how they showed the bowl of cereal, the milk, the guy taking the spoon out of it and putting, wiping it off, putting it under the kid's nose, and then putting it back on putting it on the cereal instead of back in the jar. So then you see the jar spill over. It like showed all that on purpose just to make that scene matter more. I love when movies actually do that instead of just showing like a cup 17 times and it means fucking nothing.
Mm-hmm.
This did a lot of that kind of stuff in a very good way, a really good way.
One of the things that I really enjoyed, I wanted to get Mick's take on this especially, was besides the fact the film has this kind of ambiguous time period, you really don't know when it is. Some vibes that I pulled off it. I pulled some, I don't know if anybody remembers the television Millennium, and some of the stuff of that nature. You have this special unit that is respected by the police. We don't have any information about them, but all we know is certain people are the people you talk to for these strange things. So that's a different thing to begin with, but and nobody questions it, like a Millennium or an X-Files or something like that. And then once they actually go forth in a several day investigation, they're using very basic like alchemy items to do their investigation. And things like, oh, blacklight makes sense. Very simple thing and it had that kind of more magical quality, but also to me, it made it much more believable that these are people who are studied and educated and who have given conferences according to the characters. And they're going about investigating in such an archaic way. And that was really awesome to see. Considering this is 2017, so this is like way post Zach Baggins hell.
I would actually argue with a little bit on that is that the whole point of it, now knowing that it's more of a scientific based reality and interdimensional, not to give it away for anybody, but it's an older movie, so it would, to me, it was saying that those investigators are ineffectual in this. They're I mean, it's not even outdated.
I agree. It's I just didn't want to get to that.
It's equipment that you use for ghost hunting, and they're so far past their element. So for as much as they've studied, as much knowledge as they know, they're so far past what actually is going on now that they have to try and figure this out. And I kind of like that element. Like, to me, it was just more of a maybe Finding University. They never really say. I didn't get Shadow Organization or anything, but it just felt kind of like it was this supernatural paranormal look. I would have to do the research in Argentina and how they feel about it, but it seems like
it was interesting, and then automatically a couple people show up to figure out what went on. But no, I didn't mention that was the other thing that I didn't expect, was it was going to take the interdimensional rift concept and yet again, like several things, like the kid being hit by a bus, Rogana executes these in such a way that if somebody told me this is going to be in a movie, I said it's going to be cliched. No, these scares, this tension, this actual, like you feel close to the characters. I mean, Commissioner Funes, who is our main character, who eventually disappears and we don't know anything about. But he is, I mean, you can feel from the beginning he's falling apart. So it's also intriguing. The dimensional element takes it into that science fiction area. That was a total surprise, but it was done. So he delivered on some things that I would normally see in other films and say were cliched. He made them fresh, and that's pretty awesome.
Nice.
What is I like the music in this. It built the tension. I like how the things looked. I liked how there was a crack in the wall coming
Yeah.
through there. It's coming through the water pipes. It travels. That's why it's like through the neighborhood, 3 houses, and probably trying to spread more. It is well done. It's just this is the second time I see it, I think, or maybe third, unless we reviewed it before.
We did.
Oh, okay. So it might be like third time. And like Aaron said, you watch it, you enjoy it still. Because I was worried. I'm like, oh man, I know I like this. I think I reviewed it. Then I'm watching. I'm like, oh yeah, I like this. This is good. Shit. The only thing is, I do have nitpick about the story. They don't tell you when and why of this dimensional rift. What's their end game? Like, why are they trying to evade our dimension? And they don't really clarify it. Then Mick mentioned the people. They're all of a sudden a team. They're from the same organization, looking for paranormal shit and all that stuff. But it's just a little the story. Then the ending, same thing. What happened to the dude? What the fuck? Like, why is it coming after the husband now? It didn't kill him in the house when he killed the girlfriend. Then what happened to the guy in the beginning? Because he was lasting for months, like 9 months.
You're asking the right questions.
You are asking the right questions. Right? Totally. Right? But here's the thing. And, I don't want to, put too much emphasis on it coming out of Argentina, but I think this film, if you didn't have these questions that would be in the back of your mind, it wouldn't be as effective. There is, for like a lot of South and Latin America, kind of a magical realism to things that, there's one thing to see something that's a little strange, but then there's to see something like you have in this film. So I think not knowing is actually one of it's done well for this film. I think sometimes contemporary horror feels a necessity to explain too much. And I think this film did not explain things. And yeah, you're very valid on those things, but to kind of help you stay with the film. Now, yet again, this is about a year after this was released, but Rugna did say he was working on a sequel. So at least the thought of continuing this plot line is in the director's mind. Now, will it come to be? But he has been quoted.
I don't think it's going to be for a while because he's doing When Evil Lurks 2. I think.
Oh, geez. There's going to be a part 2 of that, too?
Holy shit.
I hope they don't ruin it because the original, the first ones are fucking crazy.
They're so damn good. Like, When Evil Lurks, that was awesome.
It's a very good film.
That was awesome. James, would you rate this one?
Okay, so this is tough. I really, really enjoyed this movie. I just had those little nitpicking things. I was just nitpicking. Like Trevor said, you don't need to know. It's in the back of your mind. It leaves you wondering.
Yep.
What's going on. Now you're like, yeah, part 2? Maybe I'll answer some of this shit. But I was going to give it a 9. But I'm giving it an 8.5 because of me nitpicking.
All right.
Yeah, but you're nitpicking. Why would you? Because you're nitpicking. Your questions are good questions, but they don't necessarily need the answers. You're asking, where did he go? We clearly know he went to the other side, and he ain't coming back because once that started happening, things started popping off in the houses, and started like gruesomely taking out. So, like to me, that says, and that's interpretation, but that's interpreted. Like you don't need that particular context because this one is grounded in where we are. You know what I mean? So like, again, I'm not saying that you can't keep it, but like I would at least think about it some more with your questions and see like what context clues did they add throughout the movie? Maybe even watch it trying to answer those questions. I really truly have a feeling you're going to get those answers.
I should do that because I didn't think about it until the end of the movie. I was like, wait a minute. What the fuck happened here?
It's a well-written movie. It's
good.
weirdly
There's
enough,
something magical at times to not know exactly.
Yeah.
in terms of
If you were given so much information on so many things, would you still feel the shock that Commissar Funes was feeling at the end of that movie?
You won't know unless it happened. You're right. So how they did it is like perfect.
Yeah, I mean, it's there doesn't have to be an explanation. And I think a lot of films, that's a good thing.
Maybe not explanation, but there needs to be resolution. The thing is, they never take it out of our characters' hands. So you know everything our characters know in this. So they don't know interdimensional. So they're sitting there getting, not hacked away, but you know what I mean? Like they're getting attacked and things are going crazy. And it's all acting within a way that they don't fully understand. And that's what I thought was really interesting about this is like, we are along for the ride. We know what these investigators know as we go. So by the time you get to a point where it's, bending physics, you're like, what the hell is going on here? This is not what I was about the whole time. So they're in over their heads. It's almost like if we were in a Phasmophobia and then all of a sudden like angels came down and started blowing like, trumpets and shit. And, we're like, what do we do now? What is this? This isn't Ghosts. I like that aspect. So by the time you get to the end with Juan in the hospital and he's looking at what's his name standing behind him, it's out. It's already in. They couldn't contain what was already coming in, and it's taking up all of the infected people that have been among it. I kind of enjoyed that aspect, and I agree with you, Trevor, that you may not need explanation, but you do need resolution, and this movie still gives you that resolution.
Oh yeah.
So I don't need everything fully explained, like, okay, where'd he go? Where was what is the interdimensional rift? All that stuff. That stuff washes away because now that's where the effectiveness of the scares come in. It's not even, again, I like the jump scares are great. This reminds me of sort of like a Weapons. It's a greatly told story. Is it the best ever? No. Greatly told story, keeps me intrigued the whole time. So by the time things pop off, I don't need any extra context at the moment. I have exactly what I need, and I'm in the same place they are. As long as I am not ahead of the characters, I'm fine. You're never ahead of the characters. You're always one step behind the characters in this movie. And that's what I appreciate about this movie. It's a top 10 horror movie for me.
It's a very, very good film. And it got me to an interesting place because, even with everything, I wasn't as concerned about Commissar Funes. I figured like after everything, he was done. But and I forget his name, but he's one of the first people we're introduced to the film. His kid had been killed, this is not a lateral film. But we're introduced to him after his wife says that the kitchen is basically telling her it's going to kill me. And within a very short time, we see her brutally murdered by something. And after everything with Funes and everything, when it came to him, my sympathy all went to, they're going to get him off. And that was one thing that's like, I was hoping that they were going to come to him and say, after this, everything is so much in question.
They're all dead. There's no case.
Yeah, there's we can't touch enough to make this evidence. So we are, and that was, I guess, one thing I was kind of hoping for. So,
one
scene with the girlfriend slam against the wall, all the thumping. He thought it was the neighbor.
He was getting pissed.
The wall a million times.
He was getting pissed.
That was painful to watch.
Yeah,
it was painful in a good way. It's horrible to say that, but as far as a executed sequence of gore and violence, that was kind of up there with the first time I saw the hammer scene in Old Boy. Like, oh my God, when will this stop? And it just goes right to that point where you're just like, I can't take it anymore.
Boom, boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
boom, boom,
and she
boom.
starts slamming her head back like this against the wall. I'm like, God damn.
And you watch him and you get into his mind. You're like, what is he thinking? Is he thinking, oh my God, this is horrible, I have to save her? Or going, oh my God, how am I going to explain any of this? I'm going to jail now.
I'm going to jail now. Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, not to say they have a bad relationship or anything, but I'm wondering, like, what's going through his head? I mean,
Especially he's touching her and everything. He's covered
the
in
gore
blood.
effects are visceral enough. You actually wonder about how they affect the surrounding characters. I mean,
I like the scene where the two gentlemen are on the phone like across the street from each other. And the guy was telling, he kept going back and forth, like looking from room to room. He's like, I see it. And the guy was like, where is it? Where is it? And it eventually comes across the street. It's like right there in his face.
Yeah,
that was done so fucking well. And I remember this is my third or fourth time watching it, because the second time I watched it with my wife. And at that part, she screamed and I started laughing. I was just like, oh man, such a good scene, such a good freaking scene. But I love scenes like that where it's not a cheap jump scare and it kind of ties in with the story, ties in with the atmosphere and everything else. It's not just there, like, yeah, it's there to scare you, but it's worth it for that one. Like, they did a good job building up to that one.
That scene, and there's another scene involving a Commissioner Funes with a gentleman in a bed. And after watching the film and having what explanation there is a interdimensional rift, you start going back and noticing that you are getting hints, because I don't ever really remember and I mean, Mick, you know a lot more about ghost and, you know, ghost hunting and such, but specifically this concept of angle. Like, if you look at it this way, we can see it, but if we look at it this way, we can't. And that those things made a lot of sense to me once the interdimensional rift concept came in, because there was something playing with just general physics and perceptions based on physics. So it's cool because while you watch the movie, you don't think anything about it. But that's another mark of a great film. When you get the ending and you think enough about this film that you start trying to piece it together, if it was giving you hints you didn't pick up. Another hallmark of a great film.
Yeah. The only thing I would say that differentiates it is that ghosts don't exist, and the jury's still out on interdimensional rifts. I'm not gonna listen. You want to talk about video games or movies? I'll talk about ghosts. That shit ain't real in real life. I'm gonna piss off some sturdy's watchers.
Just if you get mad,
we've created black. We've created dark matter in a lab, so God only knows.
Well, all right, if ghosts exists, why are there so many racists?
Why are there so many?
Yeah, you're telling me that none of the ghosts that we encounter are ex-slaves?
No, there is. I watched.
There's a bunch of white people from fucking Victorian England.
No, if you watch,
that's the level of ghosts we have.
No,
I'm watching a lot of ghosts.
Every ghost is depicted as a white guy
and everything,
or a white woman.
Well, that's because everything is whitewashed, like Jesus. So,
well,
what I'm saying is
there is an xenophobic element to that too, because a lot of the traditional ghost stories and ghost movies that we're used to are so amazingly Anglo-centric, because if you're going to make a movie that is focused a little bit more here, then what's got to deal with voodoo, or it's got to deal with this, it's got to deal with all these preconceived things.
Listen,
so
ghosts
we'd screw it up, and
I don't believe in it. It ain't real. It's been more than enough times where I could have seen them. Nothing comes out. And we only talk about ghosts as if they're one thing. And like in this movie, that's what I like about this story in this movie, is that the whole time, and in movies I can let go and be like, yeah, ghosts are real, that's great, whatever. But then you get this movie where you're like, you're along for the ride, and you're like, holy shit, man, why is it so haunted? Why is everything haunted? Why is everything coming back? Mm-hmm. And then you get the interdimensional portion of it. I was like, oh, sweet, reality.
Yes. So,
okay.
I may as well tell the story. I'll take names out and everything. But I was partnered with somebody for a short time who thought she was a witch. And I do believe people, certain elements and things of that nature. But with that, she also felt that she could communicate with spirits. She took me out to the battlefields of Gettysburg. I don't remember the name of the ghost, but it was a Confederate soldier that would show up on a bridge and would proceed, if you set it down, where you could watch him puff on, get this, menthol Marlboros. This person was so, believed this shit. I mean, I've been smoking a good portion of my life. You hold it like that, and the smoke comes out both ways, boys and girls. But this person was that hardcore and had a mythology behind it and everything. And I'm just like, no. I mean, the concept of energies and stuff like that, is it possible? Yeah, but it's not, it's... people leave auras just because they've been around a while.
Well, I do believe that when we die, metaphysically, we do become back one with everything, our atoms. I'm not saying it's our body walking around, but I'm going to counter your story here. Yeah. I'm going to counter your story here. Okay. It's a ghost story. When I was in high school, I used to run trips to the Devil's Tree, which is just this tree where they used to hang people. So back in the day, and we would go. It was supposed to be haunted. It was called the Devil's Tree. People tried to cut it down. The whole point of it was when you get out to this field, there's supposed to be all right. When you're going towards the field, there's like 3 bridges you go over. Those are called the 3 bridges. Not very inventive. It's Jersey. You go over the 3 bridges and you count 1, 2, 3, and then you shut off your car and your lights and you just sit there and you're supposed to hear scratching at the top, right?
I heard that urban legend.
That's one, and then you get over to the Devil's Tree. You're over there, and supposedly the Devil's Tree, a black truck, because it's next to the road, but it's like a country road, so it's pitch black, nothing out there. Nearest house is maybe a few acres away. You can see lights if they're on. But there's one street light across the street by the bend where the tree is, right? So we park, we go up to the tree. It's me, my buddy Lenny, and 2 other guys who were running there. And, we're sitting at the tree. I'm like, all right, guys, we can't be here too long. We gotta get out of here. You don't want to mess around with people's property and stuff. Needless to say, black truck comes past by. The lore is that the black truck comes and gets you if you were at the Devil's Tree. You don't mess the Devil's Tree. That was the guys who would do all the hanging and stuff back in the day, the ghosts. You say we're up at the Devil's Tree. My car's down by the road. Black truck comes by. I'm kind of crouching behind a tree. All right. Maybe they didn't see the car. Maybe we're good. It's kind of parked down the road a little bit. Comes back around. Points those lights right up at the tree. There's nothing behind us. It's a field. That's the only tree in the field for a while.
Wow.
That's weird on its own.
They get out. All the doors open. Hello, we're gonna get you. And now we're like, we're gonna die. They got shit. We start running. We get into wheat fields. We're hiding, right? We're gonna get you. We're gonna get you. That's where it gets interesting. Finally, truck zooms off. I'm like, oh, thank God. Let's get back to the car. Get out of here. We race back to the car. Get in the car. We go. We're driving back. We get to the 3 bridges. I don't want to do it. I got no interest in doing the 3 bridges. Where's this truck? I don't know where he is. They want to do it. They paid me. We're doing it. 1, 2, boom. Shut everything off on 3, right? Pitch black. You are in the forest on this road. Pitch black. Go. Turn on the light. Turn on the car. Turn on the lights. Headlights come right on behind us. It's the fucking truck. And they chased our asses for miles back to the highway trying to kill us. Now, why do I say that? Why did I bring that up to compare to everybody's story? Is because I believe a ghost is smoking Marlboro before I believe they were ghosts, and I have never seen a ghost. So, with that being said, if you go out there, you'll be all right. Just watch for the crackheads and the guys with bats.
Oh, shit.
The only thing I'll say. I cannot, like, I've had one encounter, and the only person who's been with me with that is dead. So, as far as I'm concerned, ghosts don't exist. Can't prove it. I don't want to know it.
Sounds like denial.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been swamp gas coming off of Venus. I don't know.
Got touched by an angel, was touched by a ghost.
It
It was swamp gas.
I believe in the angels more.
Oh, shit. I had. Listen, I'm not saying they're 100%. There is something weird about it, though, because I had experiences myself. That's why I'm so intrigued with it. I watch ghost hunting shows. Anything paranormal, I'm into.
Nothing happens on those shows. I hate them the most.
No, I know. Listen, I know they're fake, man, but they're entertaining. But like I did ghost hunting, like not as much as you, Mick, but I did it with a couple friends and shit.
But I didn't have all this fancy equipment and shit. We just had a video camera, some knives, and flashlights. That was kind of like where we went with it.
I did it when Verizon came out with that. They had something like a sensor. Like if you walk there, it goes ding, ding, ding. It's a sound sensor or something, like in the game.
How much
We used that. We put it there. No one was moving. We're sitting there. All of a sudden, that thing starts going off. We're like, "Where's the cats?" No, they're all down, locked in the back room. We can't. There's no way. So my friend Dave went into the back, started jumping. It wasn't setting that shit off. There's no way cats are setting it off. So we're like, "What the fuck is going on?" Then we did a recording.
Mm-hmm.
You listen back. It sounds like hoof going on the hardwood floor, like fucking goat. Like it was fucking,
goat.
I had some experience. When I was younger, I had a radio turned on with no batteries or plugged into the wall. I had my stereo while I'm playing video games. I was really into Disturbed at the time. I was listening to Disturbed. The volume just started cranking up on its own. Now, I ruled that one out. I said someone else could have that same stereo with the remote, and they turned theirs up and turned mine up. I had a TV turn on, not off, because there's a timer for TVs. You can set that for nighttime. But it turned on. I was showering. I thought someone came in the bathroom. I said, I'm in here, because I seen a shadow going towards the toilet. I opened up.
Every one of those things with me.
Did I go out there and go, anybody just come in the bathroom? Like, no. I was like, okay, this is fucking. What I'm
saying to you is, you have, like this movie says, you have a bigger chance of that actually being a ghost as you do being somebody visiting you in a black hole like an Interstellar.
You're right.
It's not like, it's my thing is we put all this pressure on ghosts being real. But we do not try to figure out why would ghosts be real. Why aren't they going to the other side? We don't try to understand any of that. We just try to like put placement on ghosts are real, and that's what causes these things. Whereas throughout time, we've been telling stories since the beginning of time, even just drawing or verbally or whatever. We've been telling stories since the beginning of time, and every time we couldn't explain something, we put something paranormal on it. It may just be that you didn't dig deep enough to figure out what happened with those things, or what are you remembering versus misremembering being a child. You have to take those into account too. Like I also have to take into account I haven't ghost hunted in almost 25 years, effectively, maybe less, maybe about 20 years, but like all those encounters, they could be misremembered too. Not totally, but like there could be elements that maybe, okay, I can't explain this. But if I went back and actually thought about it 20 years later, I might be able to explain it. So there is no proof in existence of life that ghosts exist. I'm not saying I don't want them to.
That's why I'm not 100%. I need to see, because those things you can easily put science behind it. Someone come and debunk the shit I went through. But soon as I see it, I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I will stick my foot to the floor and go, listen, I seen it, motherfucker. But it didn't happen yet. Did not happen yet.
Fair enough.
Not yet.
Fair enough. I can accept that.
But I do love it. That's why I call it paranormal, because I put everything in that bracket. I'm not saying that there's just ghosts. I put it with entities, demons, interdimension beings.
Occult metaphysics.
Or here's a real fucked up, fuck your mind up. What about it's a different dimension? Someone's in the same house we are, and we're the ghost.
Like the others?
Yeah. Like,
Yep.
that'd be fucking wild, right?
It's possible.
How do you know that's not what happening right now with your current experience?
You're right.
Well,
Exactly.
they're watching some entertaining ass ghosts. Then you're welcome.
And
And I think
you're
that's
the one haunting somebody else, right? Another version of you in another.
And I think that's to bring it back to this movie. I think that's what I like about this movie. And like I mentioned, Interstellar, which sort of has that theme too, where she thinks it's something haunting her, and it turns out to be her father. Like, I like that element of like, there's another explanation for this, and that's what you should be doing. You should like ghost hunters. That's why those TV shows and all this stuff, the sensationalization. I don't. First off, I hate reality TV, but those shows really bug me because there is no one saying, "Let's debunk this." They're giving no element. No, they might say, be like, okay, well, I don't really believe in this. I don't believe, but they're all sensationalizing for shows. There's no true skeptic stepping in. Like if you watch Watcher, they used to be Ghost, whatever, something. It was on BuzzFeed. They did Supernatural, and they're pretty good guys. The one guy Shane on there is a true does not believe in ghosts, and like when he enters things. People like his partner's like, aren't you scared? And he's like, no, because there's no such thing as ghosts. And like he goes in trying to debunk the things that they're picking up, the orbs, stuff like that. And I like that. You need to have that element for any type of scientific talk towards it. Like I'm not going to just Zachary Douche Baggins could come in here and be like, I could give you 1,000,000 things that tell you ghosts are real. And I'd be like, can you give me 1,000,000 validities with those things? No, you can only say you've seen orbs on your camera, so that means there's ghosts. That's a jump. Like, but if you're gonna Scully me, then I'm gonna listen to you because you're gonna try and pick it apart.
One thing you pointed out, and it makes me think of something that at the time I thought it was probably important. Besides the fact that all the people who are doing this investigation have some background education wise and everything, so they automatically have this air of like respectability even among the police and everything, which really helps. But I forget her name, but she definitely had been doing it for a long time, the one that Jano ends up meeting at the house. What I mean, she's already seen, and we've seen that she's seen the shit in that hole. And when Commissar stands in front of her, and then she just asks like, what's going on? And she goes, I have a theory. She knows shit's going to go down, but she's still enough of a scientific person that she's not going to go, oh my God, the world's going to just like, I have a theory and I think this is it.
But think about it. Think about that element of the movie. Every single one of them have degrees. Every single one of them have knowledge and experience in what they're doing. And every single one of them was wrong.
Yep.
So like that goes to this story of saying like you can have these authorities and none of them are right and they paid the price for it. And that's what I like about this movie is that that's an effective twist the entire time. We're watching a paranormal movie until it turns into a sci-fi.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember the last time I watched Ghost Adventures and anybody referred to anything as a theory. Because it's a theory no matter what, because you cannot prove it.
Yeah.
So, you know.
It's so stupid.
And Zach Vagabonds.
She's looking at death and she's still thinking on a scientific level here. So, you know, these are, like I said, the character who does say that and ends up getting, you know, killed by the interdimensional being. Like I said, when Jono sees her, he's in awe. I mean, I've been to several of your conferences. I've been this, that, and she even gives that like, oh, yeah, I did read your book. You're full of shit. Had a nice cover. So there's even that like kind of academic like thing there too.
But that's that again, and I know I'm
So
beating that
real.
horse, and I'm sorry to like do that, but again, that's what I think is so effective about this movie and getting to it is like everyone is smarter than everybody. You go from the cop, then to the doctor he calls, and then to all of these scientists and to everything else, and their hubris of this is what it has to be because that's what we study gets them killed. And I love that aspect of this movie is like no one's safe because you're not dealing with this. You're assuming the entire time. Everybody assumes one thing, or how something works, and it just didn't work out for any of them. I thought that was effective.
You're going to a gunfight with a Floby.
You're going to a gunfight with Zachary Douche Baggins.
Zachary Douche Baggins.
Did anybody else give their rating?
I don't think so.
No, sorry. I think we just kind of kept
All
talking.
right, go to a 9. Change it. It's a 9. It's back to a 9.
All right. Trevor, how about you, good sir?
I'm going to give it an 8.5. And I'm definitely going to revisit it here in a couple years. And I'm going to see how it holds up in comparison to what horror is then.
Nice. Mick?
I think it's awesome.
This is a 10 out of 10 film for me.
Wow. Nice.
Gamer?
I'm giving this an 8.5.
Nice. I'm right there with you, Mick.
Rating.
This was just every single time I watch it, I have a great time with this damn movie.
And you always see something new.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just got excited.
It's just one of those. You never get tired of it, but it's one of those. Like I feel like I maybe watched it maybe like a year ago. So you can watch it once a year, but if you allow yourself to miss it for a couple of years, I think you'll enjoy it that much more. Honestly,
I would definitely say watch it at least more than once. This is
Yes.
a movie you're going to pick up on things.
Yeah. I would say at least twice, if not 3 or 4 times. At least twice.
It's worth it, I think, the 3 or 4 times personally.
No, it is. But I decided not to spin the wheel this week, everybody. There's a movie I want to check out. And it's foreign. So
the host. Oh my god.
The
Okay,
host.
so real quick.
Great
Back when I was in college, I brought the host to the Carlisle Theater for a week.
Nice.
Sponsored by my radio show. I had heard so much about this movie. I spent the $300 to get them to get a print for a week. And also remember, this film was made by the same guy who did Parasite.
Okay.
Yes. So this is going to be a grand old time. The host. I heard it was really good.
Oh,
it's amazing, dude.
It is one of the best kaiju films, monster films ever made.
Okay. Well, Johnny, hopefully you're here next week to review this with us because you said it's better than Pootie Tang. We all know how you feel about that. At least I think we do.
This is amazingly inventive, and the family in itself is just... That drama alone is amazing in the film, minus the monster.
Yeah, Granddad's a South Korean film. Can
I put a challenge out to you too, Sturdy?
Maybe
for next week. I like how he's like, no.
It just depends. I got to see what the challenge is. If it's a lot of work, I'm going to say no.
No. With it being as big as it is right now, I would love to hear a Sir Sturdy opinion on weapons. If you see it. Oh,
okay. Yeah.
Will you give even if a short review next week?
Possibly going to see it Monday. So yeah, I'm excited for that. Actually, here's some things about it.
Heard a lot of good things about it.
I've seen it 4 times now.
Damn!
Wow.
It's worth it.
Damn!
Great horror, man. I've seen Sinners and that 4 times.
Say that again, James.
Grandizer, I just seen the comment. He's talking about Patterson with Gimlin, a movie called Gimlin. I don't know how you pronounce it.
Studio Ghibli.
Studio Ghibli.
No, it's he spelled it Gimlin.
To all of you, is there a lack of good monster movies like The Host, or is it just me? They flat. Watch Monster Island. Sturdy just showed me that one. That was a good one.
Cool. It's like a dark
The Entity.
The dark version of Black Lagoon.
17.
Johnny, I liked Mickey 17. I thought he did a great job on Mickey 17. It's just a different movie from Parasite.
Yeah,
I never seen it.
Well, you got to remember he's also Snowpiercer too was thing. So he's dabbled in science fiction before.
Oh yeah. Right, I'm trying to find where he said The Entity. The Host is the South Korean movie, right, Preston?
It's right. He said it right here too. Again, the entity.
Is he asking?
I seen that.
Yeah, Entity was good. It's a good movie.
The Entity, like the Barbara Hershey film.
Yeah, I think so.
That's an interesting film.
I thought they did a good job with it, though. To even play up that
good.
angle
It's also
paranormal.
It's yeah.
Well, no, that was more for him because he was asking. But yeah, I think it's an interesting movie. I think it's a horror movie that horror fans should watch. Just realize it's not a bonkers off the wall type of horror movie. It's very dark.
Oh, there it is.
Common with like repulsion in films.
Grandizer wants us to watch a
that's
film, aka Bigfoot sighting.
Gimlin
Shriek of the Mutilated is pretty awesome.
I'll take a look at
Bigfoot.
I never seen that one, but I did. I seen a couple of Bigfoot movies that were awesome.
Patterson.
Exist. That's a good one.
Yeah. Bigfoot say. I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
Patterson Gremlin film Bigfoot sighting.
I'm actually in the mood for like some cryptid movies.
Some great ones.
Snowpiercer is a good.
Troll Hunter is a classic.
Shin Godzilla's coming to
theaters, baby.
I saw that.
I haven't gotten deep into it, but Mick, from what I'm hearing, is there going to be a Shin 2?
No. There's going to be a Godzilla -1 sequel.
Okay.
Yep.
What is there any truth behind the concept of them producing a film for the Chinese market?
Who?
Toho.
Maybe.
I've
really
heard a lot
depends.
of talk about both those things.
Be
Not
prepared to see
extraordinarily
Gamera.
credible sources, but I haven't had the time to dig.
Gamera is still
what's current.
Japanese, but be prepared to see Gamera in the next Kong and Godzilla movies.
Ooh.
There's been talk. I don't know for sure. I haven't had it verified, but there's been talk that they want to fit Gamera in. They think that will be the next big bad to go after Godzilla, but not a bad, like how they did with King Kong. So I think they're trying to build up their franchise. I'm interested. I hope they give. I would prefer them maybe keep Kong out for that one and just do a Godzilla. Gamera
That would be an
movie.
interesting team up. That would be a team up we wanted for a long time. So yeah, Kong could like sit this shit out.
I like Kong, but like, yeah, no, I don't need them right away, but I doubt they'll do it. So it's probably going to be all of them because America needs to have their kaiju in there. Plus, Kong, by the time it comes out, Kong, it'll probably be 2027, so he'll be like 98 years old by that point, and going into what do you call it? Public domain. So they're probably going to try and get that out as quick as possible.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I mean, sooner or later, yeah, Grandizer, you're going to have to fit if not Pacific Rim, you're going to have to fit a Pacific Rim type of robot element into it. In fact, you have Jet Jaguar.
I was just about to bring up the Jaguar.
You know, like, I mean, if you're going to go bonkers, which they did with these Kong and Godzilla movies, why not? Why not bring in Jet Jaguar?
I want a Hedorah movie.
If Mark Wahlberg can be the last knight in the robot, then I can deal with a Jet Jaguar existing in this.
Then I want King Caesar and the whole gang, Megalon.
Hey, I'm in. Sign me up.
Yeah. Sign me up too. Sign me up too. I'm excited for the
South
host.
Korea and kaiju. Sorry, I just have to give a shout out for this movie if you can find it. Since we're going to be doing a South Korean film that's a monster movie, I thought I'd give a shout out to a film that was made in the 60s and was the only kaiju film to come out of Korea at that time, and that's Yonggori, which is painfully bad, but it is available, I believe, on streaming. Vinegar Syndrome also released it. It is a really horrible movie, but it is South Korea's attempt at trying to cash in on like the latter kid success of Godzilla.
I'm in. Like I like that though. I like because I think like Sturdy had talked about this when it comes to kids being introduced to horror movies. We've had this deep discussion before, and I think there's plenty of Godzilla movies that are helpful to introduce kids to, but sometimes in most cases they're very silly. I wouldn't mind something like that to reintroduce like New World kids into the kaiju world. You know, you don't do that, you're going to start having to go the way of the Western.
Well, remember, Gamera is like Wu-Tang. They're for the children.
It's hard to
Say they ain't nothing to fuck with.
Oh shit.
Gamera ain't nothing to fuck with. You're right.
No. Nope. But we're gonna get on out of here, people. Make sure you go check out the Scene Snobs, Ambassador Media, Worst Damn Gamer Ever, Popcorn and Pints, and come back here for Horror Research 30. Again, we're discussing the host next week. First time watch for me. I'm super excited for it. And yeah, see you in your nightmares. Peace.